You are enough. How's it going, my friends? Hope you guys are doing amazing. Check out my new channel and talk about this in a minute. But today, I want to talk to you about Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I just found out that it's this month. I didn't know, which is crazy because this is my jam. Mental health. It's kind of why I got into coaching. Every single person on the planet is going to have mental health issues at some point. Every single person on the planet is going to feel bad at some point. And all of us want to feel better. But specifically, in this video, I'm going to talk about why I think this topic is so important, why I think it's so ignored, and why we need more visibility, more content about this, more support for men. And I'm going to be one of the leaders, hopefully, to pave the path, to talk about this more, to help as many men as I can with things that have helped me, and for us to lift each other up and help each other up, because men's mental health is important. And it's not some negative thing. It doesn't have to be this dramatic negative thing, although it can be, because if we really go down the negative rabbit hole of suicide rates for men, how they're so much higher, and all the facts that are out there, it's pretty sad. But I'm not going to go there today in this video. What I really want to talk about is one of the reasons why so many men feel terrible, and that's because they believe they're not enough. Do you believe you're not enough? I've believed I'm not enough many times in my life. Sometimes I still, well, no, I was going to say sometimes I still do. I don't anymore because I think I've worked on it so much. But there's times where I feel bad. There's times where I believe I'm not enough in a certain area, or I should be more, or I should be different. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we dive in, I just want to give a shout out to my sister who got me this for my birthday. You guys can kind of come closer. It's got the emerald. It's a lion, basically. I'm a lion. I'm a fucking badass. And it's got this. The eyes of the lion have emerald in them. It's my birthstone for May. She got this for my birthday. So shout out to my sister for getting this. And look, it like falls perfectly with the rest of my jewelry. Probably gonna move over to gold soon. Should I move over to gold? I've been doing the silver white diamond thing for a while. Let's see. Anyway, this is a part of men's mental health. Doing what you want, looking your best, expressing yourself, and showing up the way you want to show up in the world because you believe that right now you are enough, or the way that you want to show up is enough. It's what you want. It's what you prefer. I think it's a great actually segue to today's topic. So I think one of the things that so many men are dealing with right now, like me and you, and have dealt with, is just believing we're not enough. And I think this comes from so many places of money, status, education, how you're seen in society. A lot of us, it's like based on how our parents saw themselves, and what they valued in society, what they were taught to value in society, they passed down to us. And it's not just our parents. Like, most people actually have an issue with this. Most people have a lot of ideas and thoughts about what it means to be a successful man or a worthy man, and that so much of it is it's tied to your status and how much money you make and what you do for a living. It's tied to the way you look, your body, your physique. It's tied to how hot your wife is, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, or whatever. And it's like your social status, all these different things. And I think it's a very human nature thing. I don't think there's anything wrong or bad with that. I'm not going to come on here and talk about how we need to change how the world works and change all the paradigms and our belief systems. I don't think that's important. What I think it's important, though, is we can recognize that, yes, it's important, it's fun to pursue those things. It's Our desires are important, they should be honored, but they do not have to define our self-worth. I think that's a pretty big game changer, what I just said there. So everything that you want to have, be, do, or have, is because you just want it for fun. But it's not because it's going to make you more worthy as a man. Even though we intrinsically really believe that it will make us more worthy, because that's what we've been taught, and that's what we see in society. We think we see certain men being treated better in society because of a certain thing they have attached to them. One of the things I just mentioned that make them good enough. So my life absolutely changed when one of my coaches, Brooke Castillo, shout out to her, several years ago, was teaching the concept of how you were born 100% worthy and he will die 100% worthy. And I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? And she said, nothing you do in this lifetime can change your worthiness. Nothing. You'll always be 100% worthy, right? And I'm gonna add to that, like my interpretation of that was that you're born 100% worthy from God, from the love, the energy, the source you come from. You're worthy. You're here. That means you're worthy. You're 100% worthy. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to do, which is like goes against a lot of religious teachings, which I'm kind of proud to teach because I don't think a lot of those teachings are very healthy. I think that some of them, a few of them might be well intended, but most of them aren't. And they keep you living a very fear based, small life, believing that you're not enough. And what a miserable way to live your life. That's not why we're here. So, aside from just religious spiritual teachings, I think in general, this is like a secular teaching as well. Like I said, we attach who we are, what we have to our worthiness. And when I learned that your worthiness is 100% no matter what, it really triggered me, right? In the beginning, I was like, what is she talking about? That's crazy. And I think she had learned that obviously from her mentors and the authors she had studied with. Abraham Hicks is probably one of them. But I thought this is such a spiritual concept, but it's something I've never heard about. Like, I've never heard anyone teaching me, any elder, anyone in my life, any teacher, any author, any religious leader, anyone just saying, like, you're 100% worthy. You were born 100% worthy. Nothing you do could decrease your worthiness as a human. I just want to pause there. I just want to pause there because this is so important. This is so important. I just want to pause on this one concept. Like, let's really go deep, guys. Let's go deep on this. Okay. I'm 100% worthy no matter what. Right. I was just breathing that in. Right. Like, really trying to feel it myself. That's when I feel most aligned to God. We talk about prayer meditation. When I do things like that, I think a thought that makes me feel aligned to where I come from. That's when I feel the best. Like, I feel this like outpouring of warm love inside of me right now. Right. Because I just like felt that. And so, how do we start to believe that we are 100% worthy, that we're enough right now, the way we are, regardless of all the inadequacies and the flaws and the things we fuck up on, or the things where we don't think we're good enough in, or the things that society or we've been told that we're fuck ups in, or that we need to improve? How do we reconcile all of that with believing that we're actually good enough? Number one, you just have to start with being told by someone like me, maybe I'm the first person to tell you this or remind you of this, that you are enough, that you are 100% worthy, that you were born 100% worthy, and that nothing you do in this lifetime can change your worthiness. It's 100%. How amazing is that? Like, I feel so happy as I'm saying that to you, right? Because then it just means that everything else here is for fun. It's important. You can have missions, you can have purposes in this life, but really it's just for fun. Everything else is just a bonus. It's a cherry on top. It's the desires we want to live out. And some of them really matter to us, and some of them are very emotionally charged for us, and that's okay. Because I think for some reason, we think that if we don't attach our worthiness to important causes or important improvements that we should make within ourselves, that we're not going to be seen as good people. Because men are constantly seeking validation approval from others. And I think that's fine because we're here on the planet with other people, so we want to be appreciated and loved and respected by other people. There's nothing wrong with needing or wanting that. But I think when you attach your entire worthiness to that, it's a problem. And if you believe that you're never good enough, it's a problem. Huge problem, right? So what if going forward, you and I decide for the rest of our lives that we're 100% worthy no matter what, and that we are enough no matter what? What if you and I just decide that? What if you and I just decide that I'm enough? I'm enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I'm enough. I've always been enough. I'll always be enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. I've always been enough. I'll always be enough. I'm enough. I'm 100% worthy no matter what. I'll always be 100% worthy. I've always been 100% worthy. I'm enough. I want you to like really say that to yourself, right? Say it with me. Make that your affirmation. Make that your looping thought. Because when you do this, the repetition of it is what will program it within you. It'll program within your brain and body. And when you start to believe that from the repetition, you'll start to show up that way in your life. You'll start to, one, feel a fuck ton better. Two, everything else in your life won't affect you negatively as much. Because you realize, like, oh, if I'm already enough, all this is just extra for fun. I think that somewhere in society, I don't know when this happened or how it happened, or it's still going on. There's large groups of people. I think it's just the way we are. Maybe that's the way that we're wired or built. That just believe that that can't be it. It can't be that good, right? And so we have to complicate things, or we have to make the game of life more fun by adding our own meanings and interpretations to it. So if we tell people like, "Hey, you're not a worthy man unless you do X, Y, Z," you're not enough unless you do X, Y, Z. That's what makes the game of life more fun. Otherwise, it might get kind of boring to be like, oh, you're already a winner. Everyone's a winner. Let's just have fun, right? So I can see the philosophy. I can see the deep rooted need for complexity and making the game of life fun and where that contrast comes from in this game of life, right? But I also see the countless problems that we're facing because of it and how you can still play both games. Like you can still play the game of, I want to improve because I want to. And yes, maybe a part of me will feel more worthy. Okay. Maybe I will feel like I deserve more respect. Maybe I will feel like I get more status. And you can still kind of sort of play that game. Okay. But you should also be playing this game of just realizing I'm 100% worthy no matter what. Like, I think that you can dance within both, like, have that sideways eight, right? But I think it's important to have this foundation of no matter what, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I think you could spend your entire lifetime, I think you can spend the next 100 years of your life really just reminding yourself that you're enough. I think that's I think one of your main purposes and missions in life is just for you to realize who you really are. I think that's what we want to realize about ourselves as mini gods here on the planet, as co creators. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than that. I think your life, the directions you take it in, can show that to you, can show you that you're enough, right? Repeatedly. You can use your life and the desires you want to pursue in life to continue to show you that you're enough, right? And you can like live, create your life from that place. And there will be times where you don't feel enough. The contrast will be there. There will be days where you feel like shit. I think that's a part of life too. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think staying in the place where you know that you're enough. Like, I'm enough. I'm 100% worthy. And I want to pursue this. And I want to do this. And I want to be this because it's important to me. Or these are my personal missions or purposes or what I spiritually believe. That's beautiful. That's great. I think that's like the best of both worlds. I think it can't get better than that, actually. Right. But why are we doing all of those things, pursuing who we want to be because from a place of unworthiness, right? And I'm going deep here, so follow me, right? It's a complex thing because one can argue, well, if someone felt like they were already good enough, then why would they ever want to improve? And that's not true because in this moment, if I can really, with you, believe that I'm good enough, it makes you want to do more. If I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm amazing, I'm 100% worthy. Now let me like create more, let me do more. Because I think that's just inside of us. That's like the God part inside of us that wants more, that wants to experience more, do more, be more, have more, feel more, right? Create more. We're infinite creators. We're infinitely expanding, just like Source, extensions of Source, right? So when I believe myself to be more worthy, I want to create more, put more out, be more of who I want to be. You know, it doesn't make me feel less, but there's of course a whole philosophy also, and I understand where this comes from. Of if you believe that you're less than, if you believe that you're not good enough, it'll inspire you to do more. It'll push you to do more. The shame, the guilt, the negative emotion will drive you to do more. Will drive you to do better. And I understand that too. I just don't think that that's very helpful right now in the world. I don't think that men are suffering from that. I think it's the opposite. I think so many of us have way too much shame, guilt, despair, anxiety, stress, depression, feelings of unworthiness. And so I'm here to flip that, right? And we flip that by, again, reminding ourselves that we're enough, that we're 100% worthy. I'm enough. I'm 100% worthy. So I really just want you to say that to yourself. Pick one. If you just want to pick I'm enough, do that. That's probably the one I'm going to do this month, along with all my other affirmations that I constantly do, being my new self, all the things I'm creating in my life. I think one of the ones that I'm going to do is I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. I'm enough. I am enough. I am enough. You can say it however you want, whatever feels natural to you, or I'm 100% worthy. I'm 100% worthy. I'm 100% worthy no matter what. I'm a fucking 100% worthy fucking man no matter what. Say it however you want. Okay? But I would loop that again and again in my mind quietly, because what it's going to do, one, it's going to make you feel better. Two, it's going to change who you are for the rest of your life. Once you realize, oh, I come from source energy, I come from that 100% perfection of love, right? I come from that beauty, I come from that 100% worthiness, so therefore I am 100% worthiness. I am an extension of that energy. And I think that's like the sun's kind of shining down upon me right now. It's this beautiful afternoon. I'm so excited. I'm genuinely so grateful right now, man. And I'm just like in this zone where I'm like, oh, like I get to do this for a living. I get to teach people and talk to people, and I get to express myself and help you. I'm feeling so much gratitude right now. Like this for me is like what the love of God feels like, you know. And this for me is a feeling of 100% worthiness in this moment, and just like knowing I'm enough. Like wow, like I'm gonna start crying, right? I'm gonna start crying. It's like so beautifully emotional, and we just don't allow ourselves to go there. So that's what I want you to do, because I'll tell you this, after all the life experiences I've had and people I study and people I've seen in my own life, much older or much younger, from all walks of life, from religions, from all socioeconomic statuses, the whole pursuit and the chase of, if I make this much money, I am enough. If I am in this relationship, I'm enough. If I look this way, I am enough. If people see me this way, I am enough. That all that, honestly, so dumb, so stupid. It's just bullshit. It really is. Again, I'm aware enough to understand why it's there, that these things exist, and some of it is fine, like I said, to dance in and like have fun with in the game of life. But making that the basis, the foundation of how you build your life, how you constantly see yourself, is going to just make you feel fucking miserable your entire life. That is why so many men are feeling so much stress, depression, anxiety, unworthiness, not wanting to live, not having purpose, loneliness. Oh, loneliness is a really big one. I'm gonna have to do a video on that for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, right? One of the things that causes loneliness, I think, also ties back to this. If we believe we're not good enough, we believe we're not good enough for others, we believe we're not good enough to form connection or to be vulnerable, to have friendships at different stages and ages of life where we can just be ourselves. Because who we really are, like myself, is not good enough. So first, I can't show who I really am to anybody because I'm not good enough, the real me, with all the flaws. And because of that, I don't even want to hang out with a lot of people. I don't want to have such deep friendships at this stage of my life. Surface level, sure. Work related, sure. But like really going deep with someone, no, I don't want to do that. That's too scary for me, because they'll see who I really am and they'll see that I'm not enough, because that's what I believe about myself, that I'm not enough because of XYZ. So we have to change this, guys. We have to change it for ourselves. And once we put the mask on ourselves, on the plane, you put the oxygen mask on yourself, you can start to put it on others. You have to start with yourself. And then we can make this a movement where we help more and more men believe that they're enough. Because if you believe that you are enough, if you believe that you're 100% worthy, just imagine. Reminds me of that Bollywood line from W. Mankiewicz where it's like, just imagine. Where she's talking about how if you hooked up with her. Anyway, side Bollywood note, but just imagine how beautiful this world would be if all of us started believing we're enough and we're worthy. And people who are in a negative state, haters, if they see this content, they're not my people. They would take and be like, oh, it's dangerous to teach people that they're 100% worthy. It's dangerous to teach people that, you know, they're enough, because then people will stop doing things or trying or striving. People will stop going to work. People will stop working on their relationships. People will stop working on their health. I disagree. I disagree 100%, and I'll disagree till the end of time, because there's multiple ways and paths to take to achieve the same thing. And I don't think that the escaping from, running from fear, running from shame, guilt is the long term path for ultimate happiness and fulfillment. I don't. In the short term, can it work? Yes. In the short term, fight or flight, can it work? To believe like, fuck, I'm unworthy or I'm not enough and I hate where I am and I want to get to this place. Yes. In the long term, it's fucking miserable and you will get sick and you will be unhappy. And if you're unhappy for 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years of your life, what is the point of being here? That is my ultimate question for you guys. You know, I mean, I'm not asking the negative, the people who are kind of in a different state because they're not going to watch this content, but it's just something for you and I to think about. The argument of, don't teach people that they're 100% worthy. Don't teach people that they're enough because then it's going to make them do bad things. Again, that comes from, again, people who unfortunately are thinking on a very low level state. They're fear based. Okay. They've been taught that humans by default are bad. They've been taught that humans are sinners by default. They've been taught that when humans are told they're good enough, they're going to become arrogant. They're going to run over people. They're going to harm people. I don't believe any of that. I believe the more worthy I feel about myself, I just want to give. I want to help people. I want to help the woman walking down the street, across the street. I want to give the guy money who needs money, who's behind me, who can't, whose credit card just maxed out and he can't pay for the things he's buying at the gas station, right? I've done all these things, and when I do these things, I do it from a place of worthiness, right? I do it because I believe I'm enough, because I believe that I'm worthy, right? So acts of kindness can come from a place of worthiness and being enough. Like this whole idea that if we start to teach people that they're good enough, that they're going to get spoiled and become hedonists in a negative way and take advantage of others and never do anything good for themselves or society. And so we have to stay away from that, right? We have to let that lower level thinking kind of drop, and disappear eventually. And we have to uplift ourselves and uplift others to a new way of thinking, a new world order, as I would like to call it. Although that sounds very dramatic, but that's really what it is. It starts with one person, then we spread these philosophies and ideas. So, spreading the philosophy, the idea that I'm enough, 100% worthy no matter what I do, wow, that's pretty fucking amazing. What's going to happen is that it might get you to question your entire fucking life. Like it got me to question my life. Like, wait, if I'm 100% worthy, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I with this person? Why am I not doing that? Why am I not pursuing this? Why am I not living my life this way? And then you realize, like, wow, like my whole life was just built around a philosophy, a set of ideals by other humans, men and women who came before me, who created these set of ideals that they believed were spiritually right, that was all about proving our worthiness, whether it's proving our worthiness to God, whether it's proving our worthiness, like we're a good little boy or a good little girl who gets a sticker on the forehead and gets into heaven or hell, whether it's proving our worthiness in society, among peers, among relatives, among friends, the status we have. One of the things that really bothers me that I hate is when people will try to boast, or not boast, but like they'll try to seek validation spiritually about how religious they are. And I've seen really nice people do this. Some people I really love and respect do this. And I think most of it's well intended, but sometimes it's like they have to share. If you're sharing that your child, for example, want to know where at Sunday school or the mosque or something, I think that's great. Be a proud parent, tell the whole world. But if you're doing it from a place because you think that now you will be seen as a better father, or because your child is religious or on the right path, because you care, because you believe that proving that to people will make you more worthy in their eyes, I just think that's a loserish mentality. I don't give a fuck what you think. Like, if I want to boast about it, I will. If I want to be, I'm prideful about lots of things, I will. If I want to be prideful about some spiritual advancement I've made or that my child has made when I have kids, I'll do that. But I'm never going to do it because I want others to know or think, no, no, but I'm religious. No, 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 but I'm a good guy. I'm one of the good guys. Like I follow the rules. Don't tell on me, right? Like I just find that so loserish and so childish. And I see fucking grown ass men much older than me doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, that's like another form of seeking validation and approval, religiously and spiritually. I see a lot in certain communities, which just bothers me. I just kind of find it kind of sad and pathetic and embarrassing, right? That's one thing. But there's so many ways we do this, right? And of course, I found myself doing this too. I'm not perfect by any means, right? I'm not perfect at all, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm a human, right? I shit, I poop, I piss, I I have snot coming out of my nose to blow out before this because I'm sick. I get mad. I have good days. I have bad days. I am perfect, right? I got scars. I got blemishes, whatever. But it's not about being perfect. It's just calling out the things that we need to improve. And again, when I say we need to improve, I'm kind of catching myself saying that. It's like, do I need to improve because I'm not good enough? No. I want to improve because these are things I don't like. And I think this is the thing. This is like what it comes down to. It's like, as a human, you can believe you're enough and worthy and still be like, hey, but I still don't like these things about me and I want to improve them. Right. That's where we need to be. Like that. This is a reminder for myself also. That's where all of us need to be. But trying to seek validation, approval, basically worthiness from others because we believe we're not worthy until they know certain things about us, that's always going to leave you feeling depleted. And for those of us who've done this, which all of us have probably, we've seen that it's very short lived. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to celebrate my successes. If I want to celebrate that I've made $1 million in my coaching business, I'll celebrate that till the end of the time, right? Although I don't care about it that much anymore. Like it was great. I'll always still be proud of it, but usually I mention that just for marketing purposes because credibility is important. So if someone's going to work with me to build an online business, they should know I've made $1 million doing it because that gives me credibility. So they'll want to work with someone who has results. That's common sense. That's just marketing, right? But sometimes I don't even want to say it because I don't want my validation, I don't want my worth to come from an attachment like that. Do I think it's badass that I could be a wealthy human being who's created a life of freedom, who's created this lifestyle of freedom where I can work for myself online? Yeah, I think that's badass. That actually like feels more aligned. Like I want to help more men do that. But again, it's because I want to help more men do it. And yes, it makes me feel like a badass, but it's not coming from this place of I need you to know this about me so that I will feel more worthy. Does that make sense? I used to be there. But not anymore. Once I started working on what I'm teaching you, I started believing, wait, I'm enough. Wait, I'm 100% worthy. Me, little old me, right? And again, what keeps coming up in my mind is so many of us who grew up religious were taught like you are not good enough unless you do XYZ, unless you perform these actions, unless you obey your parents, unless you make so and so happy, unless you ask for forgiveness, unless you let people run all over you, unless you're a people pleaser, unless like all this bullshit we're taught. And then you reach a point where you're like, ah! Right, like I did, where you're just like, no. I'm a little sick right now, so I can't. I want to do it louder, but if you guys have seen Planet of the Apes, I forgot which version it was. Came out several years ago. It was one of the newer ones, but that scene was like, when the he finally talks, the ape, and he's like, no, right? It was like so scary but dramatic the way he said it, and so human like. I love that scene so much because it's like finally men, I think I'm replying it to men, standing up for all the bullshit. Where it's like you've been taught, you've been buried, like a brick has been fallen on you so many times, like do this, be this, don't say this, don't do that, in order to be worthy, in order to be accepted by God or by parents or by society or by your partners or by your spouse or by your in-laws or your friends or your coworkers or your boss or whoever the fuck it is. And then one day you just want to like fucking break out of that fucking all the bricks and just come out. Be like, fuck everyone, right? You just want to say no because you're done, you know? I think that's another way you can decide I'm fucking worthy. I'm fucking enough. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says or what they want to impose on me, what they want to tell me will make me enough. That's their interpretation. They're allowed to have their opinion, but they can't project their opinion on me, right? And I don't have to follow what they say. Very important, right? There's no need for you to do that. So I think all of us will do this in our own different ways, but whether you have a more rebellious streak, you're in a season of rebellion, you're like no, or it's a more peaceful way. We just be like, fuck it. I don't care what they think. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm 100% worthy. I'm enough. and all this is just a bonus for fun. And that's how I'm going to live my life. And it may take some time for you to iron out certain things, decide that you want to change some parts of your life around, or maybe you want to change your entire fucking life around like I did, right? And that may take you some years, but it's worth it. I would do it all over again. I encourage you to start doing that now or continue doing it now if you've forgotten. Why? Because you're 100% worthy and you are enough right now, just the way you are. Not a single thing else to change about yourself. But I know that you want to change things. I know you want to improve things because that's just human nature. That's a beautiful part of being human is that we have desires. So I'm going to pursue a ton of fuck ton of desires. I want to do so many things. I want to pursue so many things. I have so many improvements I want to make. I want to improve my physique, right? I want to get into, there's just so many goals I have. I talk about them a lot on this channel, but there's so many things I want to do. And I'm gonna keep reminding myself as I do them that I want to do them from a place of worthiness. Like, yes, I'm enough, and let's see what I can create, and let's see what I can build. And I think within that, like I said, there will be like some days where it's like I'm at a 10, I go down to like a maybe like a 7 or like a 2 or 3 of not feeling enough, not feeling worthy, and then that makes me want to go back up to a 10. So, like I said, I think there's nothing wrong, with the overall feeling like something's missing and then wanting it, right? I think that's fun, but I want us to balance that, like I said, with as much as we can believing that we're already enough and 100% worthy. Okay, if we start to live our lives that way, we can literally have a renaissance. We can have a new world order. Like I said, it may take a lifetime, might take decades, a lifetime, many lifetimes, who knows? But we can get started now. You and me, you and I. Riding Harleys in Hawaii. Just such a good song, especially for reels if you're a content creator. Ooh, that music gets everyone as a Katy Perry, right? And on that fun note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you would like to join my men's coaching community, the Kings Club, best community in the world, where we talk about all this shit, we help each other out, we lift each other up, we remind each other that we're 100% worthy, that we're good enough, help each other build businesses online, create more freedom, have the best relationships, have the best fulfillment, have the best sex, have the best family relationships, have the best friendships, work on things that matter to us, on our appearance, showing up as our best selves, putting ourselves out there, showing up as the most authentic version of ourselves so that we can be the happiest versions of ourselves, so that we can be the most successful versions of ourselves. Now, then go ahead and join my community. Go ahead and see the link in the show notes or in the bio, and I'll see you there. Talk to you soon, my man. And happy mental health. How do you say no? Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. It's like getting tongue twisted there. All right. And I've been recording all these videos, by the way, being sick on antibiotics, all this stuff. About to head out to a trip, but I just can't contain my excitement. I just have to talk to you because I love you. I hope you love me too. So go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, share this video if you feel compelled to, and I'll see you inside King's Club.